Hi, fasters. Welcome to Old, Fat, and Fasting. I'm Krista, and this is my sister Lori. We're old, we're fat, and we're fasting. And both of us fast for weight loss and for health. Does that open door behind me bother you? I don't mind to shut it. Josh isn't home, so I can close it and it's not a big deal.
It doesn't bother the normal person that's in me, but the horror person in me, leave it open. But I'm waiting for the serial killer to walk in or the ghost to walk through. But that's so I'll be distracted, but nobody else will be.
The call came from inside the house, right?
The call came from inside the house. Yeah. Yes. Or somebody died on that property, or
yeah.
So that's the only thing that bothers me is the horror fan in me.
Okay.
Or the horror junkie is probably a better term.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it then.
Hopefully everybody's watched our episode from Monday and Wednesday about vacation recovery. If you haven't, the links will be below. And I said in one of those videos or episodes that, and that's me trying to adjust to having podcasts now. In one of those episodes, I talked about hoping to be back at my goal weight, or not my goal weight, but my pre-vacation weight by today.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Goal weight. I was at my goal weight today.
Right.
But I am not back at my pre-vacation weight this week, which will now lead us into our weekly weigh-in. My pre-vacation weight was 157 point something. Last Friday, which was August 27th, my weight was 164.5. And my weight Monday was 164.5. Tuesday was 164.7, Wednesday 163.2, Thursday 162.7, and today I'm back up to 163.7. But I'm not too stressed about it, and if people don't like poop talk, they can fast forward through this part. I've never been a good pooper. So when I stall, I take these dulcolax soft chews. They're this big, and they actually taste really good. I had to write down my little cheat sheet here. You can take 2 to 4 chews either in one chunk. Well, I guess it's 4 separate chunks because they're 4 separate pieces, or you can split them up throughout the day. Usually when I go 2 or 3 days without going, Krista, I just looked at your door. I will take 2 chews one morning, and if I don't have any luck, then I'll take 2 the next morning, and I never have to go more than 3 days. And you can take it says it usually produces within half to 6 hours. So I took 2 this morning. We'll see what happens. It's weirding me out, and we didn't pre-discuss anything, is that a word, before this video, but I have anticipated seeing your face when I say I'm eating like 16 ounces of spinach a day.
Sorry.
So I am surprised that I'm having problems, because I actually looked it up, and there's an equal amount of, and I know we have both said we don't do the net carb thing, but there's an equal amount of carbs and fiber in spinach. So it's like a negative, not a negative, but it's a wash on carbs if you do the net carb thing. But 16 ounces a day, you would think.
That's a lot of spinach, Lori.
It's so good. It's so good with grilled chicken and measured amount of dressing, and your tart cherries. My tart cherries came in this week.
Oh, good. Do you like them?
Steve and I both think they taste a bit like prunes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've been doing like half a tablespoon of those and the other half tablespoon of raisins, but maybe I just have to adjust to them.
Yeah.
But they're good. But
Well, good.
16 ounces of spinach, how do you not poop?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. You said something that I wanted to back up to, and now I can't remember what it was.
I ramble. It's easy to lose thoughts around me.
It's okay. What was it?
I can read my notes here and see if anything. Laxatives.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. So what you're taking, sorry people if you're not a poop discussion person. So those aren't laxatives, right? They're a stool softener. Or are they a
It
laxative?
says saline laxative,
Saline laxative.
stimulant free.
Okay, so see, I usually think of laxatives as stimulants. So go ahead.
Well,
Read the rest. What's it say?
It says dulcolax. There's no duck in it. Dulcolax, magnesium hydroxide, 1200 milligrams saline laxative, soft chews, works naturally with your body, plus relief in as little as 30 minutes, stimulant free. Where's the ingredients? Magnesium hydroxide. Saline laxative is the purpose. Inactive ingredients. There's no nutrition on here. Corn syrup.
Yeah.
FD&C Red, number 40. I need food coloring in my laxative. Glycerin.
Carcinogenic food coloring?
Huh?
Carcinogenic food coloring?
FD&C Red, number 40.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I'll look it up.
Is that a bad one?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a cancery one?
I think that's the one that's in NyQuil too.
Glycerin, hydrogenated coconut oil. There you go. Lectin, which says is soy in parenthesis. So if you have a soy sensitivity, natural flavor, sucrose, and water.
So I think it's the magnesium that makes you go, because like you take, I know it's not the same thing, but you take the magnesium citrate from time to time.
Yep, I replaced that with this because that magnesium citrate.
Yeah, and I've heard people, I've seen suggestions of people taking some extra magnesium sometimes if they're having trouble, if they're constipated. So that's probably.
Which is a common side effect of fasting. But even before fasting, I've just never been, I mean, I'm sure comments will be coming, but before fasting or even with fasting, if I don't take something, I'm not kidding, it's like 10 days.
Yeah.
I'm just not a pooper.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, before you went through the whole thing about not pooping for 3 days, or however long you said, that your weight not changing for a few days also doesn't mean that fasting isn't working. So
Right.
Right. And also what tends to happen with me, and we'll talk about this a little more when I do my thing, is if I get to some point where either, like I think you and I have both gone through this thing where we gain a pound, we lose it, we gain it, we lose it, we gain it, we lose it. And we're like, ugh. And then what tends to happen to me eventually, though, is all of a sudden I lose 3 pounds.
Yeah.
All at once. So I usually feel like it's kind of a good sign. It makes me mad at the time, but it usually for me means that a big loss is coming and it's going to come all at once.
Yeah, it's a swoosh, I think is what you call it.
Yeah. So hang in there. It'll happen. I don't know about why honey, if I ate 16 ounces of spinach, we'd be off the air a couple of days.
So good. I have those prep salads made and I still haven't made the video, and I'm glad because I've kind of changed it since my plan of what I was going to do. But I get these 16-ounce containers at Sam's of spinach. And I even opened another one yesterday and threw in a handful from another container.
Whew.
So Steve has said, pointing, you all can't see him. He's over there. He's really cute. He says, if your body is craving something, there's probably something in it that your
Yeah.
body is needing. That doesn't count for like Oreos and potato chips. But if you're craving something, you know, maybe there's something in it your body needs. And one of those weird things, I can't stand bananas. I hate bananas. The texture is weird. The flavor is weird. I gag when I eat them, but I crave them like mad. Now, doing low carb, I haven't had them. But it's one of those weird things. My body, I have been known to stand in line at the grocery store, and I'm not kidding. I will eat it while I'm in line and then pay for it when I get up there. So my body must be needing something from spinach.
Yeah, Josh eats bananas once in a while. He'll put them in a smoothie or something, but he can't stand them either. He says, sorry, we're grossing people out a lot today, but here goes.
That's all right.
But he says it's the texture. He says it's like mucusy in your mouth or something. Yeah.
And Andrew will get about 3/4 of the way through one, and then he's like, nope, texture thing.
Yeah. The taste, I actually like bananas. I've got weird stuff with my stomach though. Bananas always make my stomach hurt. But I bet if you're craving bananas, I mean, they're like, I think one banana has all the potassium you need for a day. So I bet it's the potassium.
I'll pop up a screen. I asked Google, can you eat too much spinach? And it gave this thing like you're supposed to have 2 cups a day. I'm like, well, it blew that out of the water. But then it gave more information, like all the vitamins that it has. I'll ask Google when I'm editing the video what it was, and I'll type it up and put it exactly verbatim what it says on there.
It's really, really good for you.
And it's yummy, but you lose a lot of it if you cook it. So I'm glad I like it raw.
Yeah.
So, but frustrated that I'm not at my pre-vacation weight today. I'd looked so forward to it, but I think I'm holding on to a lot of poop, and that's because there's no reason for my weight to have gone up from yesterday.
Right. So, and maybe that does mean that once you do. She said do.
I did say, well, you said do, I said do. Together we said do. Go ahead.
Then maybe you'll have a big loss all of a sudden.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
That's when and the stall is normal. And you know, you said earlier, you know, that just because you don't lose weight doesn't mean fasting isn't working, because there's all the health benefits of it too. So in addition to taking these chews this morning, I've been doing OMAD, but I'm going to skip today on eating and go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Eat tomorrow. Go. Hopefully I'll go today. But yeah, I'm gonna 48 hour it.
Yeah.
Which I marked on the Life Fasting app.
I finally, maybe we should hold each other accountable for this, or I don't know, maybe it's not an issue for you. I also got out of the habit of pushing the button to start my fast.
Totally did. 2 weeks on vacation. Yep. Right there with you.
So I did remember this morning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I started remembering. You're the author, not me. Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. Sooner than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my little Post-it note that's stuck on the screen is done. Go with yours, Krista, although you don't use little cheat sheets.
All right.
Your memory's better than mine.
Well, on some things.
You at least fake it well.
Okay, so for my check-in on my weight, you arrived in Kentucky on the 7th?
I think so. Andrew moved in on the 10th, and I think we were in Kentucky 2 or 3 days before that. So that sounds About right.
Okay, so I'm going back a little further than a week just to, you'll understand in a second. So on the 7th, I was 188.8. That was the lowest I've been so far this time around. And then I hit a peak of 195.6 while you were on your cruise. That was on the 18th.
Okay.
Okay. Last Friday, I was down to 192.6, so I was down 3 pounds from my height. Whatever. And then today, I'm back down to 189.8, so I'm 1 pound away from what my lowest was.
Good for you.
So Lori was like playing her little violin for me a few minutes ago because she thought I said I only lost 3 pounds this week, but I lost 3 pounds, which I'm fine with. Like I'm always like, if I average 2 to 3 pounds, I'm fine. But what I was whining about a little bit was I've been at 189.8 for 3 days now. Like I haven't gone up at all, I haven't gone down at all.
Literally
exactly
to
that.
the ounce, right?
But yeah. So, but I'm thinking that means that any day now I'm going to step on the scale and there's going to be like 3 pounds gone, because that's what usually happens with me when I have like, it doesn't budge at all. And the other thing I wanted to say about that is I haven't lost any pounds, but I literally have a pair of pants that I am going to donate to Goodwill because I wore them yesterday. And I mean, not only did I have to pull them up, but like the legs were huge on me. And so, you know, I think in one of our first videos, we talked about you can lose inches without losing pounds.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what happened to me this week.
Oh, that's so exciting for you.
It is. So don't just go by the scale. Go by how your clothes fit too.
Yeah.
Right.
And you talking about how the clothes fit, going back to me for a minute, I noticed we have double sink in our bathroom, and above it, that whole wall is a mirror, so walking from our bathroom door to our closet, there's no avoiding.
Yeah.
And I look bloated. You know, I'm like, oh, what the hell? Oh, it's because you haven't pooped and that's why you're waiting, blah, blah, blah. So
yeah.
Fingers crossed. Okay, back to you. I'm the youngest of 3. It's always all about me.
No, I think that's awesome. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And this isn't really directly related to weight loss, except that what's going to be different this week. I started back on probiotics this week. And this is one of those things I thought it might have just been coincidence, but I looked it up and it seems that it's actually fairly common. Since I've been on my probiotics, I won't say it started the day that I started on my probiotics, but probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 days in, I'm having less trouble with cravings for sweet stuff.
Huh.
And I wondered about that because, like, if your gut, this is one of those things, I'm not a doctor, so I might not be saying this exactly right, but if your gut has too much of certain kinds of bacteria or not enough of another one, it will make you crave different things. And you can get, like, here's another one of those lovely topics, a candida overgrowth in your system.
And I see me putting a brain bing over your head right there.
Okay, so without getting too gross, women, you have had candida issues at some point in your life just because you're female, if you've gone to the doctor for a yeast infection. Okay, so you can have a systemic candida overgrowth. And the cause of that can be just bacteria in your gut, too much of the bad kind or not enough of the good kind. And if you have that, it will make you crave sugar because those bacteria feed on sugar. So you eat more sugar and that bad bacteria keeps growing. You're just feeding it. So once you start probiotics, it fixes all that bacteria imbalance stuff and it can change your craving. What I plan to do this week is I started fasting at like 9:30 this morning, I think. And I'm going to go until about, today's Friday, probably until about noon tomorrow. And here's why. Because our mom had our mom's birthday was a week ago today.
August 27th. Happy birthday, Mama.
And our brother Greg's birthday is this Monday. So
Happy birthday, big brother Greg.
So a lot of times we have one birthday party for both of them. And we're doing that this weekend. And we're doing it tomorrow afternoon at 3:00. And I'm not going to say what I'm making just in case either of them watch this before tomorrow afternoon, but I'm making something special. And I do want to have a little bit of it. I'm not going to eat a bunch of it, but I do want to have a little.
Sure.
So I'm just going to end my fast. And of course, it's a birthday party, so it's something sweet. So the plan is I'll end my fast at like 12 or 1 tomorrow, and I'll have like probably some bone broth and like some chicken or something high protein before I go. Because the other thing is, and I think Mom has mentioned this before, if you do choose to eat something sweet, it won't spike your insulin as much if you eat it on a full stomach. If you put it on top of other food. So that's what I'm hoping is if I go over there with food already in my stomach and have a little something sweet, then it's not going to spike my insulin so much, which is part of the key to losing weight while you're fasting is to keep your insulin down. So, so that's the plan. And then I'll just start fasting as soon as I finish, over there. So probably by like 5:00, I'll be fasting again. And I just plan to do rolling 36s again this week. But of course, going longer if I'm not hungry when 36 hours is up.
You talked about insulin. I'm going to say this really quick thing just for those that listen. I'm sure we'll do an episode on it.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody messaged us on Facebook this week from listening to our podcast, and she has type 1 diabetes. And her doctor has given her the green light to fast. So I was giving her the numbers of Steve and I when we first started fasting.
Yeah.
So the start of our first day of fasting, and I know this is off topic for this episode, but you talking about all of that, I think it counts.
Yeah.
So at the start of our first fast, Steve's blood sugar was 107. The next day it was 102, and the next day it was 89.
And for perspective, over 100 is high, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For me on day 1, I was 105, my blood sugar. The next day it was 88. The next day it was 82. On day 4, it was 57.
Wow.
So, and that was, we did a 72-hour fast. So Steve went from 107 to 102 to 89 to 83. I went from 105 to 88 to 82 to 57.
Yeah. And within days.
Yeah, 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
We'll do at least one, probably multiple videos on the whole insulin, blood sugar, carbs, keto, weight loss thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So a little bit off topic, but slightly on topic.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yep. That kind of describes you and me every time we have a conversation. It's kind of on topic, but not really. That's how our conversations go most of the time.
We're a little spazzy.
All right. All right. I think that's all we wanted to cover today, except we did want to make sure we talked about our podcast.
Yes.
We are really excited about our podcast. So we've been doing them, I guess, technically for a few weeks, because I think we started before you went to Kentucky, Illinois, Miami, Bahamas, all of that. But of course, we had that little 2-week break. But in the beginning, we were basically just posting audio from these videos.
Yep.
But this week, did we do 2 episodes? I'm not sure. Anyway, this week we started recording some episodes that are not the audio of our YouTube video. So it's podcast only stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep doing that.
Podcast exclusive.
Yes. Yes.
Content. Episodes. Podcast exclusive episodes. I got that.
Yes. So look for those, and we're going to try to do a couple of those a week. I don't think we have any out there for next week yet. I can't keep track, but we will. I think actually I've got one that I need to edit to put out there for next week. So anyway, you can find us on our podcast too, and you can find content on the podcast episodes that are not on the videos.
I think it's fun that we separate that. Like I edit the videos and you edit the audio.
Yeah.
I make us look good and you make us sound good.
Yeah.
There's still nobody creeping in your door, by the way. I can't tell you how many times I've looked over there. So many horror movies in my life. That wraps up this wrap up, right?
That wraps up the wrap up. Yes, ma'am.
I think it does. So again,
good.
Happy birthday to Mom last Friday. Happy
Yes.
birthday to Big Brother Greg from Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. And everybody have a great Labor Day.
Yes.
Take a break, relax, and if you choose to enjoy a little something that you wouldn't normally have, that's fine. Just get back on track Tuesday morning.
And maybe extend your fast a little bit.
Yeah. And drink lots of water.
Yeah. Fasting, you can eat what you want. Just adjust your fast. Adjust your fat accordingly.
Yeah.
But even though that's Labor Day, we will still be releasing an episode.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, have a great weekend. Happy Labor Day and happy fasting.
Yep. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.